All right, today we look at the story of Betty and Barney Hill, a well-respected middle-class family who claim on a trip home from Canada they were abducted by aliens. This is the first alleged alien abduction ever reported. Trendsetters, if you will. I'm Mike.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Dave. If you've ever been probed, prodded, had your semen forcibly removed, and been forced to do the walk of shame back to your car, stick around. You don't want to miss this exciting episode. This is Necronomipod.
Just keep staying there.
Did you hear him tell you this?
Oh, no, he didn't say it.
You felt he said it.
I know.
You know he
Just
said it.
there, yeah. Just stay there, he's saying to me.
All right.
I'll take in my head. Just
All
don't
right.
pull the binoculars away. God, give me strength.
All right.
Pull it down. Run! Pull the binoculars down and run. God! If those are God, give me strength. I gotta get away. Oh! Hey! Yeah, we gotta get away, buddy.
All right. Calm down.
I'm trying. I gotta get away.
All right, boys, we're getting into some alien talk today. I know this is probably Ian's favorite subject of all of them. He get
loves
really
it.
into this stuff.
He loves it.
He really does.
He wants to be abducted himself.
Man,
I want it too bad. That's why I don't see UFOs. I think I just want it
Because if
too
you
bad.
want them, they don't come. They know that
That's
if you want it, they don't come to you. They know this.
It's preaching to the choir. They don't need to come visit him.
Yeah.
They already got him hooked in.
Right.
Ian and I are on very different platforms here because I'm a skeptic about a lot of this, and I know these abductions he takes seriously, and he wants it to happen.
Well, let's go into it. The biggest, the most popular abduction story of all time, aside from Fire in the Sky.
Right.
But this is the first one that was ever publicized in the U.S. Happened September 19th through September 20th in 1961 to Betty and Barney Hill. And they were also the first case of using hypnotic regression therapy to bring back lost time that they experienced.
In general, or just for
alien abductions.
But if this was the first one, then there was other people who had abductions that they used hypnosis on.
No, but I mean that's like a common.
Gotcha. So this was the first widely reported alleged alien abduction,
right?
And they also used hypnosis to try to get more information from it,
right?
I think what he's saying is hypnosis is a long accepted, established form of.
I think we're going to touch on that in a little bit, and I think it's
scientifically proven.
I don't know if there's data to support that. Maybe on Wikipedia.
But that's a common way to, if someone was abducted by aliens or claimed to have been, and that's a common medical, proven medicine form.
Okay.
Science.
to go back and find.
And I feel like people that have been allegedly abducted by aliens allegedly also have been hypnotized. It makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. I can buy that.
Wait, run that back by me one more time.
I feel like the same people that are alleging that they were abducted by aliens will also allege that they've been hypnotized. That makes sense to me. That's consistent.
Does a flat Earth make sense to you as well?
I do. Maybe we'll do an episode about that one day, Dave. I would love to study flat Earth.
We will definitely do an episode on flat Earth one day.
And we can do an episode on hypnosis. But I think we'll talk a little bit more about hypnosis here soon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll get into some hypnosis.
So these guys are interesting, I think, because they're the first one, like you said in the opening, the trendsetter. They're kind of the archetype for alien abduction because all the stories that come after, or a lot of them anyway, have the same kind of, base story.
They kind of follow what...
Right. Exactly.
They've
probing what the aliens look like. And
right. I mean, at this time, no one ever heard any of this stuff before. This was the first one.
Sure, yeah.
So are future abduction stories based on them because they're making it up, or are they based on them because that's what the aliens, that's what they really do? Let's find out,
Well,
Ian.
Right.
I think that's interesting. Maybe we'll get into that, though. Yeah, why don't you set the stage for us?
So the other note, too, is that they're not like your backwoods stereotypical what you would think of claiming to be abducted by aliens people. They were respectable people in their community.
They're not out in the podunks of New Mexico.
No.
Where there's no civilization, cooking meth.
Right.
Just, wanting some attention, being cooped out.
Yeah, they lived in New Hampshire. Betty Hill was a social worker. Barney Hill was a United States Postal Service worker. And it's worth noting that in the 60s that they were an interracial couple, with Barney being black and Betty being white.
Definitely tumultuous times.
So they already had problems of their own, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't legal, or, a lot of states, it was illegal to be married interracially at the time. And they were both really high up in the NAACP locally.
So they held stature.
Yeah, they were
well-respected couple.
Right, yeah. So getting into the story of Betty and Barney Hill, on September 19th, 1961, they were traveling home from a weekend vacation in Niagara Falls, and they made a stop in Montreal as well. As Barney was driving, Betty noticed a bright light in the sky that moved below the moon and the planet Jupiter. Betty initially tried to make sense of it and say it was a shooting star.
She was just able to see Jupiter in the sky and know, like, oh, look at that light.
So that tidbit comes from people trying to debunk it later on, because there's people that debunk it saying that all they saw was Jupiter, but where they're pinpointing it in the sky.
So it was just a night when Jupiter was visible,
right?
And debunkers say, oh, you just saw the planet. You're not used to seeing it. That we understand. That's why it scared you,
right?
But clearly, based on what she's saying, that doesn't add up.
I mean, I've never seen Jupiter fly out of the
Jupiter's
sky.
Probably not going to move around.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Claims, yeah.
So Betty initially tried to say that or make sense of it, say that it was a shooting star.
Maybe she made a wish to be abducted later that night.
But it started going back.
Please, just somebody probe my husband and take his semen from him unwillingly. We're just trying to get to the first paragraph here. Go ahead. Sorry, I keep interrupting. With
you're fine.
Shit.
We got to try and make this one a little bit without.
When you wish upon a star, Barney's sperm goes in the jar.
Isn't that's how it was sung on Gene Simmons' solo album, right?
So she tried making sense of it, that it was a shooting star, but it started moving upward. As it got closer and brighter, she asked Barney to pull off the side of the road to get a closer look at it. And Barney, throughout the whole story, we'll say Barney he wants nothing to do with this whole situation.
He's a rational, common sense man.
Right.
So he agrees to pull over, and he uses the excuse that they can let their dog out, which was named Delzy. It's like a little wiener dog.
That's cute.
Yeah. We'll post a picture of it on Twitter.
Of Delzy?
Yeah.
We have a picture of the dog?
Yeah, you never seen the picture of Betty and Barney Hill? Nice. It's like a family portrait. It's the two of them together.
Oh,
and they're
yes,
holding the
I
dog.
have seen that. It's like from the Sears portrait studio.
Yeah.
So I'm posting
With
a portrait of them, but you want me to post a picture just of the fucking wiener dog?
No, it's a portrait of those two standing. Okay. They're holding their dog like it's their child.
We'll post a picture of Delzy. Okay, I guess I'm going to post a picture.
They didn't have kids. They got their portraits at Sears on Sunday afternoon with Delzy.
I am taking notes right now. Family photo. Look for it on Twitter and Instagram.
So Barney used stopping the car for Betty to get a closer look at it. He used an excuse to let the dog out. It's worth noting that Betty was a super boring person. Like, nothing excited her, but she was super jacked up about this. She was always
just a laid back, chilled person.
Yeah, she really thought that this was that this was something that they something weird they were seeing. So Barney stopped the car at a picnic area south of Twin Mountain.
Twin Mountain, they're back now in the States? Are they?
It's in New Hampshire.
In New Hampshire.
Yeah,
okay, so that's where this kind of takes place. They weren't in Canada. We can't blame this on the Canadians.
No.
Okay. It's not the Canucks.
So Betty took out binoculars to look at the object, and she described it as being an odd-shaped craft that had flashing lights, like multiple colored flashing lights. Her sister had claimed to see a UFO years earlier, so I'm guessing that's where her excitement came from.
Maybe she was jealous and wanted her own UFO story.
Well, there's something to that.
We've got the first motive of the evening.
So Betty audibly said that to Barney, brought up the fact that her sister had seen something and was like, maybe that's what we're seeing. And Barney,
Just let me drive.
Kept playing
drive.
it off, right?
Get back in the car.
Yeah, come on now.
He just kept saying it was a commercial airliner, was what he was explaining it as. Barney changed his mind on the object when it turned and then started rapidly descending towards them. But he still wasn't buying the whole UFO thing or aliens or anything like that. He initially thought it was like the military fucking around.
Like doing some kind of test.
Right, and they
like
just
fucking
saw
with
a
them.
car and just started...
Let's go scare the shit out of these people.
Right.
These innocent people just trying to drive home.
Which is plausible.
So once it started descending into their direction, they got back in the car and they started driving toward Franconia Notch, which is a state park also in New Hampshire. It's on their way home. And it's like described as a really narrow mountain road.
Just kind of weaving around.
Right.
Going down the mountain or up the mountain.
Betty insisted that Barney just drive slow so she could still look at the object.
So it's following them then.
Right. They can still see it.
Allegedly still following them is
Right.
what Betty's saying.
Yeah,
and Barney
they can still see it.
too, I guess.
At that point, Betty estimated that it was 40 feet long and it seemed to be rotating. Like it was flying, but it was like the actual object was spinning.
While moving.
Right.
Alien technology.
Anti-gravitational.
What was the wiener dog doing at
Technology.
this point? Was the wiener dog scared? Was the wiener scared stiff?
There really isn't much talk about what Dalsey's up to.
Just chilling in the
They
back.
didn't
probably
take
sleeping.
copious notes on the activity of the wiener dog.
Well, I don't know. He's telling me to tweet out a photo all of a sudden of a wiener dog. I was like, what does that have to do with it? Was the wiener dog probed? Did they probe the wiener?
This is a hard-hitting podcast, folks.
Right.
We asked the tough questions.
As they're driving through the state park route, they get south of Indian Head, and the Hill said that it descended even more and started coming directly toward their vehicle. And it caused Barney to stop in the middle of the road. And they claim that it hovered silently between 80 to 100 feet in the air above their vehicle.
Which is not that high up.
Not at all.
That's
No.
right there. Like you feel like you could probably throw a rock and hit it. You
Right.
can't, but you feel like you could. And this is dead silent, is what they're saying. They said,
No noise.
no noise.
Right.
So there's just big ass object. I mean, imagine then whether you believe in that stuff or not. Imagine you're driving down a back road and this is happening. What do you do?
Well, that's my question to Ian. Does he immediately jump out and start yelling, "Take me, take me"?
I don't know. That was the fire in the sky approach. If
Go
you
right
have,
underneath and look.
yeah,
up
if
at
you've
it?
ever watched any interviews with what's that guy's Travis
Walton?
Yeah, Travis Walton. He him and his brother were super into UFOs. While Travis Walton was missing, he was like his brother bought the whole UFO story. It was like, I'm not really worried because we already had a plan. If we ever saw one, we were going to go right up underneath of it and try and see what's going on.
It
So-
reminds me of Independence Day, that scene when those people are on top of that building in New York City holding up the sign saying,
love you,
welcome, we
welcome."
love you, take us first. That's what it reminds me of. Anything alien, I'm just going to revert back to Men in Black or Independence Day because that is my only knowledge. And when I say Men in Black, Ian, you and I have different versions of what Men in Black is.
Yeah.
To me, it's Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. I'll sing the song if you want, but I'll spare you for now.
If I were to encounter something like this, I would probably be absolutely terrified. And I'm just basing.
How could you not be?
Well, I'm basing that off a dream I had because when we initially researched this, and I was going like real hard on it. I had read the book a couple weeks earlier, but then I was like going harder and harder on it. I fell asleep listening to their hypnosis tapes, and I had a dream about what they were talking about, like a alien craft came down, everything. And in my dream, I was yelling, but I ended up yelling out in real life. And Angie woke me up and was like, what the fuck is happening to you right now? And I told her and she was like, you need to take a break with the aliens. Like, stop falling asleep to this shit.
You probably self-hypnotized.
I was just going to ask
did.
that. Did you hypnotize yourself? You let them get you?
Maybe it really happened to me, though.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, man. They're interdimensional beings. It could have.
I guess so, sure.
Maybe it was in my reality at that time.
I think we're going down a rabbit hole of a whole different conversation now about dreams and realities.
All right, so Barney took the approach which I would not have taken. He got out of the car and walked towards it with his gun, which...
It's better than not having the gun.
Yeah.
Not sure how effective the old 6-shooter is going to be against the aliens.
I mean, okay, sure. So he's just going to go charge him.
I think Barney's probably seen enough shit, too. Married to a white woman in the 60s. And at that time, he was older. So he grew up through a lot of nasty shit.
Civil rights,
Yeah.
and I would
Bunch of
imagine...
assholes.
Right, I would imagine, you know...
And he seemed like he had a fuck you attitude about him. So that's probably...
Yeah.
He's probably like, fuck this, and...
In his mind, maybe this was some kind of racial discrimination.
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
Well, he says that he didn't think this was aliens or anything like it at the time. So I think he just got out of the car and was like, fuck this, you know.
You're probably always on guard.
Fuck
you always
me?
have
No,
to
no.
deal with assholes.
Right.
He does talk about it in the hypnosis transcripts. They're super long, but if you read all of them, he goes into talking about like, we're at a restaurant and I feel like everybody's looking at us, you know, and I don't know if we're safe in this area, shit like that.
I'm sure it's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was ready to shoot a son of a bitch if he
Right.
had to.
But when he got out, he was taken back when he walked towards it because he could see 8 to 11 humanoid figures looking back at him through the craft's windows.
So through the binoculars, he's looking up at this thing.
Right.
Maybe 100 feet above.
Yeah.
And he sees these figures in the windows.
Right.
That's when you get back in your car and get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Well, so all of the figures in the windows walked back, but one stayed looking out the window back at Barney. And
It was love at first sight. Dun, 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 dun.
Barney said that and this came out later in hypnosis, but that whatever was standing there communicated to him and said, "Stay where you are and keep looking."
Telepathically.
Right. He didn't hear, you know, I mean,
Right.
you know, he didn't hear it out loud, but
In his mind, he just
In
knew,
his
this is
mind-
what this thing's telling me to do.
right. He said that they were all wearing matching black uniforms, and just something about them didn't seem human.
Because he couldn't quite make them out because
Right.
through the binoculars. Okay. But he could tell that they didn't look like human beings.
And that's a good side note too, because somehow in pop culture, aliens have all of a sudden become nude, like naked.
Right.
Like they don't wear clothes, right? But everything back in the 60s and like the Betty and Dreesen abduction and all this stuff, they're always wearing like these little jumpsuit
Well, that's
things.
that's interesting. How did that start then?
I have no
what
idea.
was the first report of naked grays or whatever?
Some disinformation government shit.
So that we're going to blame on disinformation. Okay. Got it.
So they recount that wings with red lights on them came out from the sides of the object, and at that time it was estimated to have moved 50 to 80 feet above and about 300 feet away from their car, which is it's a weird note because you don't really ever hear about wings with UFOs, really.
Right. Yeah, when with my limited knowledge, I never thought, you think of UFO, you think like a flying saucer type thing.
Right.
But to have, wings, that's
or like a triangle or something, but not something that actually has like wings come out of it. Barney, at that point, it like kind of hit him like, I need to get the fuck out of here. He rushed back to the vehicle, told Betty they're going to capture us. At that time, he's still not really thinking that it's aliens or UFOs. He just thinks that
something fucked up's going on.
Right.
Well, he saw humanoids, though.
Yeah.
He's got to think it's something that's not great.
Right. Yeah, he saw somebody. I don't know.
Right. I mean, he saw
right away. Maybe he's not thinking they don't look human.
Yeah, I think
maybe
like, the quotes that I pulled in here are coming from back in the hypnosis thing too, like saying that they didn't quite look human.
Mm-hmm. So the first time he said they didn't quite look human was well after,
right?
It came back to him. Okay, and I think we'll touch on that here in a bit.
They got back in the car and Barney started driving away super fast, just trying to get out of there. And at that time, Betty said that she had heard a beeping sound and that the car started to vibrate and like a tingling sensation.
Ooh.
Went through their bodies.
Fun.
And it left them like real confused and just kind of hazy feeling. A second beeping noise brought them out of like the foggy headed state. and they had traveled about 35 miles south, but only had a vague memory of the road. And they took an unplanned turn, encountering a roadblock and seeing a fiery orb in the road.
So they heard a beeping.
Right.
And then essentially kind of went into a trance.
That's what it sounds like.
And then they come to after another beep 35 miles away and at a wrong turn that wasn't their route.
Right.
With a fiery orb.
With a fiery orb in the middle of the road.
Yeah. And the beeps are something that, as we do more episodes and get into alien stuff, the beeps are always getting brought up, especially with the Men in Black. Like when they make phone calls to people, there's always beeping that starts it off.
They're making phone calls to people.
Oh, yeah.
They're spamming motherfuckers.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
We all get those calls every single day, but I've never heard a beep. I actually don't answer them, though, either, so I guess that helps.
Start answering them.
No, I don't want that. I'm not rooting for this to happen like you are. You're answering everyone like, please let there be a beep. Please let there be a beep. Please let there be a beep.
Hi, Mike. This is Rachel from Card Services.
Right. Fuck you, Rachel. I wish I was getting probed right now. Hang up the phone, Rachel. Tell your boss to fuck himself, too. Or herself. It could be a female boss, not just a male boss. I'm not trying to be sexist. Fucking Rachel. Fuck you.
Touched a nerve here.
Hate those
Call him
calls.
like 100 times a day.
How many calls do you get a day? I had 2 today alone.
2? I had like 15.
Today?
Yes,
Oh, you had a
every
big
day.
I don't
My
get
phone
15
gets
a day.
blown up. So just feeling real foggy headed and just out of sorts. They ride back home on September 20th, and they recalled strange behavior that they were having, where Betty felt that she had to keep all of the luggage back at the back door in fear of radiation.
So they saw the orb,
Right.
and then they were aware and conscious and hazy, but just drove home.
Yeah.
Almost like in a funk, like, okay, we know we're supposed to be right now.
Right.
And we're looking at something. This is the way to home, the other way. Let's go that way and get home. And they just kind of drive home like in a funk.
Right. The only sense that I can make of the orb aspect of the story is it was like the aliens dropping them back off.
Yeah, like guiding them.
Right.
Guiding
Putting them back
home.
on their way
Yeah,
on their
that
way
makes
home.
sense.
That's the only
They
thing.
couldn't have just been fucked up and passed like a Shell station, and it was like the big yellow, red lights.
Did Shell exist in 61?
I don't know. I don't know the history of Shell gas. Probably.
In the middle of a mountain road?
We got to fill up somewhere, man. The truck driver's got to stop and get a Snickers and a Diet Coke at some place.
Maybe it was like Moses with the burning bush.
He was just coming back
Yes.
randomly in New Hampshire, coming down.
That's what they say in Ancient Aliens.
What?
That the burning bush is a...
An alien?
Yeah, it's like a side... Or it's like a translation for it's a UFO.
Well, it wasn't a burning bush, so that's plausible.
So they, in this hazy funk, they get home.
Right.
They get home and they're both feeling weird, awkward about something.
Yeah.
She left the luggage outside because of what you said, which fear of radiation.
Right.
Okay.
And then Barney noticed that the leather strap on his binoculars was snapped in half, and then his dress shoes had scuffs on the tops of them, which didn't make sense. Like he was being drugged.
It's like a lot of noticing things that you can't remember or why they happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Happens to us like every Sunday morning when you wake the fuck up hungover and you're like, wait, what? What
Right.
are the? Oh, my knuckles bruised. Why does my neck hurt? Where's my money? Did I leave my ID at the bar?
It's like my debit card story of Xbox. I think I told that.
That's a
last-
really good story. You should tell that again just because.
waking up playing Xbox with my brother, drinking a ton of beer. What was I drinking? What did I say I was drinking that night?
Absinthe?
Apparently. An entire
The
bottle.
blackout stout from Great Lakes.
Oh, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
It's heavy.
Yeah. And I woke up. I fell asleep on the couch and woke up in the morning, and the Xbox controller was there, and then the debit card was laying next to it. I'm like, the fuck did I buy?
Why do I have 10 copies of Tetris?
And Girls Gone Wild, Volume 17. Loading on my television right now. The world may never know.
So Barney's dress shoes too. It said a lot that those were his best dress shoes. So I'm sure he was pretty pissed off about that. But the other weird thing is they always talk about him like he was a real snappy dresser and shit like that and stuff. But he just looks like a normal dude to me. Like, I don't know if it's because he's like if it's like side like racism going on there, like, oh, he's a real snazzy dresser. It's just weird how they
because he wasn't dressed in like tore up clothes or like, like maybe looking like they had a perspective of, oh, he doesn't look like he's from the inner city.
Right.
Like, oh, he's wearing like khaki pants and a collared shirt. He's a real snazzy dresser.
Yeah. But they always point out like the way he dressed and his shoes, which is kind of weird.
Or do they just point it out because they want you to believe this story?
What do you mean?
Maybe they pointed out like, oh, he was always so snazzy. He would never have had scuffs on his shoes.
Well, he said they were his best dress shoes. Why would the tops be all fucked up on him?
Well, I don't know.
Wait, you're questioning the scuffs?
You
don't even believe the scuffs on the shoes occurred.
No. I believe there were scuffs on the shoes. I'm just making a point that maybe it was exaggerated how well dressed he was to make the story more believable.
I mean, he did look like a well-dressed dude, but it was nothing like...
The pictures I've seen, he looked like a well-dressed man, well put together, but I did not see one photo of his shoes in those pictures.
Dulcie was standing in front of him. Maybe.
The big wiener was in the way. Big wiener was blocking the shoes. That one picture I saw, the wiener dog does look very big. It might just be the angle.
I mean, I don't know if it's really a wiener dog or not. I don't know what kind of dog
that kills the whole thing if it's not now.
Looks like a wiener dog.
Somebody will correct us when they hear this, and we'll all feel shame because of it.
So aside from Barney's shoes being all fucked up, he felt the urge to go in the shower and check out his genitals and make sure that they were okay.
How's that different than any other guy on any other day?
Well, I do a post-check genitalia. I do a post-trip genitalia check whenever I'm traveling.
Why not?
Who doesn't?
Yeah. A lot of travel. You're sweaty all day. You're uncomfortable. Got to make sure your balls are still there.
Yeah.
So Barney, he decides kind of out of nowhere, I'm going to go take a shower, and I have this urge to check my genitalia.
Right. So they both took long showers and then decided to draw pictures of what they saw. And both of their pictures added up.
They didn't like talk to each other. They just kind of did their own thing. And then when they showed it, hey, that's what I experienced too.
Right.
But so she didn't get out of the car. Does she see the humanoids from the car?
No.
So what did she draw?
The object.
Okay.
The orb or the ship?
Yeah, just the
ship,
object that they saw. Yeah.
Okay. Did he ever bring up, because I know you said he was kind of in denial about this. Did he ever bring up to her at this point the figures that he saw? Or
no.
What they told him to stay put? Like he didn't want any part of that.
Yeah, no, he didn't bring any of that up. They tried to recount the whole experience, but right after they heard the beeping sounds, they couldn't really piece much of anything together. So they laid down and took a nap, and then Betty brought in the luggage finally, and she found that her best dress had, it was torn at the hem, the zipper, and the lining of it. And she also noted that it had pink powder on it, and she put it out on the clothesline, and the pink powder blew away. But she says that there was some kind of pink powder all over it. Was
this the dress she had been wearing that night driving home?
Yeah.
Okay. So she took it off and put it in her luggage on the drive home?
No, when they got home after a shower.
She hung it up.
She hung it up.
See. Okay.
Yeah, after
I'm sorry,
a
I was
shower.
misunderstanding. I thought you had said she had taken that out of her luggage. No, she just took it off when she got home.
Right.
And noticed it was rips in it and pink powder.
Yeah. When they went outside and looked at the car, because they said that the beeping sounds were happening from behind them, they noticed some like shiny metallic circles on the back of the car that weren't there before. And because her sister had claimed to have seen a UFO before, and her sister's neighbor was, I'm not sure if he was a physicist or what type of scientist he was exactly, but when her sister told him about the circles, he recommended putting a compass next to him and seeing what happened. And when Betty went out there to put a compass next to the circles, it just spun around. And
It's interesting.
Crazy, just spun around fast.
Yeah, and then when she pulled it away, it went back to normal.
What does that mean?
Is there anything to that in the alien community?
Handbook?
Yeah, the handbook. Any other reports of like something like that happening?
Well, I mean, there's reports of people saying like their watch will stop, like their watch will just die, or something like that. So I don't know if it's like the I would have guessed something with the magnets. Right? Isn't that how a compass works?
Yeah, like it disrupts magnetic north, the material in the car or something like that.
I Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of that one.
I mean, there's lots of stuff with UFOs. Like I said, with like your watch stops working and
Right.
shit like that.
But so she tried that, and that's what happened.
Right. So the day after, September 21st, Betty reported the incident to the Pease Air Force Base. And because she didn't want to be thought of as a crazy person, she held a lot of the details back. And on September 22nd, Major Paul Henderson contacted Betty by phone, and he wrote a report on September 26th that he had stated that they mistaken the planet Jupiter for a UFO, like I was saying earlier. And that one was submitted to Project Blue Book, which was the Air Force's studies into UFOs at the time. Like, that was their official, out in the open, public.
And in all fairness to this Major Paul Henderson, if she withheld details, maybe they could have realistically thought, oh, you were just looking at Jupiter. You saw a bright light in the sky under the moon.
Yeah.
If she's leaving out the details that she thinks makes her sound crazy, very well could have been Jupiter.
And it's the most plausible explanation.
Sure. Still is.
And so Project Blue Book, that's the one that determined that it was just weather balloons in Roswell, correct?
Yeah, they're famous for weather balloons and
Project Blue Book, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Project Blue Book is just like their blanket that they throw on any conspiracy. And that they're just
It
like,
was a
we
legitimate
don't want to discuss.
investigation to look at the
it was
UFO sightings.
Yeah, it was their official. I mean, they had a couple going on at the time, but that was
so
their
Project Blue Book's actual was designed to investigate
UFO
alleged
reports.
UFOs.
Right.
Got it.
Or cover them up, some would say.
That's where my other dude, J. Allen Hynek, comes from. He was a top researcher on that, and it flipped him.
Did we discuss him?
I probably talked about him at one point.
Maybe I'm mixing him up with someone. That's all right.
So Betty, still fascinated by the whole thing, won't drop it.
She probably just wants to talk about it nonstop with Barney.
Oh
and
my
he's like,
God.
oh, just shut
To a
up.
complete resolution, let's talk about why we saw it and what we can do to not have that happen again. And he woke up and he's just like, let's move on with our lives. I'm over it. I'll get new shoes, woman.
Let's explore the reason this happened to us. And talk about our feelings and why we were.
It adds up with the story. She wouldn't let it go, and he was ready to be done with it, right?
Yeah, and that's kind of the moral of this, or that's a reoccurring theme throughout this whole story. So she started going to the library to get books on UFOs and read up on the subject. So Betty started going to the library to read books on UFOs and came across a book written by retired Marine Corps Major Donald Kehoe, which he's no relation to me.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Although my dad always likes to point that out because Donald Kehoe is brought up multiple times within the UFO community and
keeping that family tradition going. Then
You're
aren't
part
you?
of the conspiracy, aren't
Right?
you?
Look at this. Your dream come true for you.
Right?
Want to give a speech?
Nah.
The inside agent.
Donald Kehoe was the head of NICAP, which was a civilian, or it is a civilian UFO research group, and they're competitors of MUFON.
Do NICAP and MUFON get along?
No.
It's a big Bloods, Crips type thing, and
They don't have ice cream socials and get together and compare notes.
There are no UFO research groups that get along.
so okay, just real quick, and we don't have to go into a whole thing about this because I obviously want to get to Betty and Barney Hill story. NICAP and MUFON, why is there so much hostility between the two? What's the difference?
Because it's a bunch of
Will Smith's better, Tommy Lee Jones is better.
No, it's a bunch of nerds that all want to get the first the hot scoop on the alien activity going on.
So when there's an alleged abduction or a sighting, they're both sending out troops to these sites.
Yeah.
Go get the scoop. Go find out what's going on.
It's like in Twister when they had the.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
But tornado chase.
I felt I made enough movie references tonight, so I'm glad you said that. Jonas, son of a bitch. Twister fans would love that. Everyone else is like, what the fuck is he talking about?
And then suddenly Jonas is gone, and there's only one team left.
So, if one of these people got sucked up into something,
Right.
they'd all love it. They'd mark out for it.
Well,
They're getting abducted.
That's what I was telling you. with your father-in-law with the UFO pictures that you were sending.
Yeah, he's got tons of them. He
but
sees
I
them
said,
all the time.
but I text you, and when I text you and said that, tell them to turn it into MUFON, and then they'll be out there like Ghostbusters. That's not far from reality. If he submitted that, they would probably try and say like, hey, can we come out there? Or they would just come out there on their own and try and figure out where those pictures were taken from. And
why did you pick MUFON, though? You prefer them over NICAP? Are you a MUFON?
Yeah, I like MUFON better.
Okay.
What does MUFON stand for?
The Mutual UFO Network.
And so what does NICAP stand for?
It's the National Investigations Committee on Aerial Phenomena.
All right. It's a bit wordy.
A little wordy.
I like MUFON better.
Yeah. And just another thing on NICAP, they are known for being super aggressive.
With like questioning people?
Yeah, they're kind of, some of the Men in Black stuff from back in the day is attributed to them, with them like showing up in these like real like West Virginia type areas and like getting real, not confrontational, but like saying, don't share your story with anybody else. We want the information. And then people that aren't used to that back in the 60s or 70s, like get kind of freaked out and they're like, oh, so.
And for real, I'm not making a joke. When you say Men in Black, some people are going to think the movie like me because they don't know. Like, what do you mean by Men in Black when you say that? Like, because you're not talking about the movie.
Right. Well, we'll do an episode on it because it's a deep dive.
Okay.
You could, are they demons? Are they aliens?
So there's a whole conspiracy as to who or what the Men in Black are.
Right.
It's not just government agents who come and investigate aliens and save the day.
It's either demons, aliens, or nerds from NICAP.
Okay.
Being aggressive with backwoods people out in West Virginia. All right, so she wrote the letter to Donald Kehoe, and then that time she told the whole story to him with the Barney seeing the humanoids, the whole deal. He passed it on to Walter Webb, which was a member of NICAP. And then on October 21st, 1961, Webb interviewed Betty and Barney Hill on everything they could remember. Barney stated that he had a mental block from some of the details, and he thought that it was just stuff that he wished that he couldn't remember, that he didn't want to remember. In Webb's initial report, he stated that he believed them, and he believed everything that they said aside from minor details like measurements and how far the craft was away from them.
So they were credible witnesses.
Right. So November 1961, Betty starts writing down details of dreams that she had been having. She detailed going back to the fiery orb, having dreams about that, but in her dream there was also men standing in the road along with the roadblock and surrounded her car. She lost consciousness but struggled to regain it. And then she realized she was being forced by two small men to walk into the forest and seeing Barney walking behind her. And she says, though she calls out to him, he was like in some kind of like sleepwalking trance.
And this is a dream she had that she's recalling. She
right.
was
These are all
this
dreams.
down the next day.
And she starts bringing up how they describe the aliens in her dreams, or kind of where we get modern UFOs from their story. She said they were about 5 feet to 5 feet 4 inches tall, and they wore matching blue uniforms. Barney initially said black, but she's saying blue. And they all had hats similar to like military cadet hats. She said that they appeared nearly human with black hair and dark eyes, prominent noses, and bluish lips. Their skin was like a grayish color.
So that's where we get that description of the grays from, right?
Yeah.
So this is the birth
Kind
of that
of.
term,
Right.
grays.
And that also goes back to like the whole Men in Black thing too, where it's like they're trying. If you think that Men in Black are actually aliens, that they're able to present themselves in this dimension as close to what we would accept as possible.
They're able to change themselves to present themselves as looking humanish,
so
even though they might not actually look humanish.
Right. Or you could go down the route of they actually look like straight up aliens or something, but then our brains are trying to make them look as make sense of what they look like, but there's still something off about them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense. I mean, I understand that what you're saying. Sure.
So I don't know if we talked. We probably talked about it. I know me and you have talked about it before with like the accounts from Native Americans when we first came in on boats, and they just really couldn't grasp what they were looking at because they had never seen.
Talking about that
No?
before. No.
Yeah, there's Native American writings where they're like trying to describe boats coming in. They couldn't.
They couldn't describe what a boat was or what the people on them looked like.
Just the whole ordeal, like nothing looked familiar to them at all. So
nothing in their language could describe it.
Right, and I think you try to make your mind just naturally tries to make sense of something.
And so that's kind of that's one of the beliefs of the Men in Black is that maybe they do look different. We're trying to make sense of it, so we see them as human-ish, but maybe not perfect human beings.
Or maybe aliens just kind of do look like humans, just a little off.
Just like West Virginians.
Just maligned the whole state.
And here we go. We love Kentucky, though.
Kentucky's great.
Love it.
Louisville's a great town. I have a lot of fun in Louisville.
So also in Betty's dreams, she says that her and Barney were walked up the ramp of a disc-shaped object that was metallic in appearance. And once inside, they were separated, and she tried to argue against them being separated with what she called the leader. And she says that she was told that if they were examined together, it would take a lot longer to conduct the exams.
It's like a couples massage.
Right. But who wants to have the massage together and just go your separate ways?
Well, you're not going to get a happy ending.
Right.
If you're...
I've seen Couples Retreat. I know how it works. Another movie reference. So they split them up. They take them into this aircraft.
Right.
And again, this is her dreams, right?
Yeah, these are still dreams.
These are Betty's dreams. They take them in the aircraft, and then they tell them, we're going to separate you because it'll be quicker.
Right. She said that the examinations were conducted by a different man, and she called him the examiner. She said he had a pleasant and calm demeanor about him, and she said that the leader and the examiner spoke to her in English. They had like a weird accent to them, like they didn't really...
Something a little off.
Right, something was off about them.
Like their dialect or...
Right.
Like they were from northern Minnesota.
Yeah. How many states can we shit on in one episode?
So, you're the human fellow we're going to look at.
So, the examiner told Betty that he would conduct a few tests to note difference between humans and them being the aliens or whoever was on the craft. In her dream, he put her in a chair and turned on a bright light on her, and he cut off a lock of her hair, examined her eyes, ears, mouth, teeth, throat, and hands. He shaved trimmings off of her fingernails.
Gross.
Yeah. And after examining her legs and feet, he then used a dull knife, and she described it as a letter opener to scrape off some of her skin.
Oh, gosh.
Nice.
Into...
Ed Gein would have been proud.
Could have used that into a lampshade. She described it as like cellophane that he scraped it off into. She said that he then tested her nervous system and put a needle into her belly button.
Jesus.
Which caused agonizing pain. Then he waved his hand in front of her eyes and the pain went away. That's a common abduction thing too.
The belly button?
The waving of the hand or
the waving of the hand, like where they're able
button.
to like put their hand and like tell you to calm down or whatever.
Is it weird that I'm like extra sensitive with like my belly button?
I
or, like,
hate my
even
belly button being touched.
Like seeing someone's belly button get touched, not that you see that all the time. Like that just it gives me this uncomfortable feeling and like pain.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's just like if you ever went to like touch and you were like gonna touch me in the belly button, like I'd be physical about it. Like don't.
I was
touch
thinking
me.
of standing up and walking over there right now.
Dave, you can try at your own risk. I don't know. It's just weird. Like I don't. Belly buttons are just not. They're not gross. I just am extra sensitive. I don't know. Maybe that's fucking.
I don't like being touched.
Now the aliens are gonna fucking get me. They're gonna probe my
I don't
belly
like
button.
anyone touching me, period, let alone
Well, sure.
the navel.
Yeah.
Sure.
I prefer to say belly button, I think. Navel's
belly button.
an orange.
Navels. Yeah.
Well, I had navel in the outline, but I skipped. I decided belly button. It's just a weird.
I don't like
word.
my face touched either. Another one.
By like anybody or just
Yeah, I mean, I don't want my face touched, period, really.
right.
I mean, there's certain people in my life that if they touch, I'm not going to punch them. But if someone.
Give him a wet willy on both sides.
Well, that's not quite my face. How about a wet willy to the belly button? Ooh, that's real fucked up.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, we haven't talked about the wiener dog in a while.
I think Delzy's part in this story is over.
Fuck. Well, all right. Thanks, folks. Tune in next week. We're going to talk about some more serial killers, probably. And thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe.
Do you have anything to promote? You got any social media?
Oh, they got it all. They got it all on Twitter and Instagram and at Necronomipod. We're on Stitcher, iTunes, and Spotify.
All right. So Betty, she says that the examiner left the room and had a conversation with the person that she called the leader, and she was just kind of sounds like she was just wandering around while they were talking, and she picked up a book that had a bunch of strange symbols that the leader said she could take with her. She also asked where they came from, and they pulled down what she described as like a instructional map that showed a star system of where they came from. And she said it was like weird, like it was almost like 3D looking.
Like it was almost like a screen.
Yeah,
or like
kinda.
was it it wasn't like a paper map that you used to have like in grade school.
No,
it was like
yeah.
a screen, like almost like a touch screen type.
Right.
And we're talking about 1961.
Right. In the end of her dreams, the men escorted them back. Were escorting them back to their car, and they had a disagreement among themselves in their own language. And the leader told her she couldn't take the book with her, and they took it back from her. And Betty had insisted the leader had told them that they didn't want her to remember the encounter, and she said no matter what they did, she would remember, kind of protesting the whole situation.
Yeah.
And she and Barney were taken back to the car, where the leader suggested that they should just wait and watch the UFO depart, and they did, and resumed their drive. And I'm guessing, if we're going to take this at face value, that's where like the fiery orb thing comes from.
Yeah.
Why would the leader request that they watch them depart?
Maybe that's what broke their hypnosis.
Yeah, maybe that has something to do with them not remembering the whole situation.
Did Barney have these types of dreams as well?
No.
Only Betty.
Well, nothing to do with this shit.
Probably slept
Only
on the
her.
couch. She probably slept on a couch.
Hey, might be comfortable. Only Betty, whose sister had a similar experience with the UFO. Well, she saw a UFO.
Are you suggesting she wanted to one-up her sister? Her sister planted the seed. She said, I bet I can see an alien.
I don't know. I do not believe she was trying to one-up her sister. I think when you want to believe something badly enough, your mind can often play tricks on you.
I've had no tricks played on me. I'm still waiting for a
Want
UFO
harder,
to roll over.
motherfucker.
I'm waiting for it.
And you know what? And let's finish the story. I do want to hear the rest of the story, and then we'll give final thoughts and arguments and knockout blows.
So on November 25th, the Hills were interviewed again by NICAP. This time, C.D. Jackson and Robert Homan. During this interview, the Hills realized that their 4-hour trip actually had taken 7 hours, so they were missing 3 hours of time.
Yeah, that missing time's a weird thing.
That's creepy to me.
Yeah.
Because there might be some, I don't know. That just seems a little more believable to me.
Right. NICAP suggested hypnosis to what Barney didn't want anything to do with it. Betty, of course, was interested and thought it could help just put the issue to bed with the dreams and everything. Because at this time, they're like, well, we saw something weird, and now I'm having dreams. There wasn't, Barney didn't have...
Barney's probably trying to move past all of this.
Right.
Betty is having the dreams. Like whether she wants to or not, she's obsessing over it. Right. She wants to come to some kind of conclusion, some final answer.
Right. And so they disclosed their experience to members of their local church, And through doing this, they were put in contact with Dr. Benjamin Simon to undergo hypnosis.
So hypnosis, that's a proven, legitimate scientific method of pulling back memories?
I believe so. I think
we're going to dive into this. We can dive into this if you guys want.
I mean, you can hop on your phone and look at WebMD, and it'll tell you it's a real science.
Do we want to do this live right now, that hypnosis is a legitimate, proven science?
Why don't you hop on YouTube and pull up a self-hypnosis video?
Now, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Is it going to pull out?
Here's the thing. Hypnosis is pro wrestling.
No.
It's entertainment. It is not real.
No.
When has there ever been anything actually recorded, documented, that something was solved because of hypnosis?
People have had surgery under hypnosis in lieu of anesthesia.
I think you can be so concentrated on something that you're able to put out different feelings.
Yeah, that's hypnosis.
I don't believe that hypnosis can make you do things. I think you can block feelings. You can block some of your sensory.
Are you thinking like cartoon style hypnosis?
I'm thinking like hypnosis is you're not going to be hypnotized to the point where someone's going to like make you stand up and take your pants off and you're not going to remember it. That's bullshit to me.
I don't think so either. I don't think it'd make
no.
no
You're
stuff
thinking
against
like
your will.
that's what I'm saying. You're thinking like cartoonish. Like I could hypnotize you and make you act like a chicken or something.
If you were open to that, then
I do not think
Yeah.
hypnosis can make you remember things that you don't remember.
Oh, I do.
I do not. I think it's the same thing as like when I'm thinking of an image in my mind. If I'm thinking of an image in my mind, like while I'm thinking about it, I'm not actually seeing your face right now, Ian, as I look at you. Because when I'm thinking of like President Obama in my head and I'm thinking of his face, I'm seeing his face. I'm not seeing you. And that's what I kind of think hypnosis is blocking off sensors, your different senses. If you're focused so hard on someone who's holding a bell in front of you,
But that's
you're
not
maybe
how it
not
works,
hearing
though.
things around you. Well, that's what I think hypnosis is. I don't think hypnosis is you all of a sudden being able to remember these things.
Maybe you're not clear on what it is, and you've come up with these opinions that aren't based on reality.
But where is there proof that this is actual for real? There is no proof that hypnosis is real. It's
I
fake.
don't think that's true. That's like
looking
saying
this
there's no proof the Earth is round. Like, I'm not sure what you're...
Even the exact definition of hypnosis uses the word apparently loses. So there's no actual proof. It's apparently that they lose the power of voluntary action and is highly responsive to suggestion or direction. So you can suggest and direct someone to believe whatever you want them to believe.
Right, and that's where you're talking about making people stand up and do goofy shit.
And I've
Right.
seen those
But this
hypnosis
is coming
shows.
from-
I believe those
Yeah.
too.
But this is coming from the definition of it is that they can make you do whatever they want you to do.
But when someone's just they're asking you they're just asking you questions. They're not leading you with questions. They're just they're saying,
But are
okay,
they?
so on
'Cause
this, yeah, I mean,
every description, every video or sound clip that I've heard of hypnosis, they ask very leading questions.
so with Betty and Barney Hill, you could make an argument that Betty's dreams are what put this shit into Barney's head.
Sure.
That's a legitimate argument.
I don't doubt
you
that.
could make that argument.
I don't doubt that. But like the most major account I had, and I brought it up before to you guys, I've heard the hypnosis of Sirhan Sirhan, the guy who assassinated Bobby Kennedy. They asked very misleading or leading questions to get him to admit and act out his assassination of Bobby Kennedy, to the point where he stands up and they're saying, "Did you shoot him? Shoot him. Pull the trigger. Pull the trigger." And he starts acting it out.
Well, that's not what happened here.
But when they're asking these leading questions, I don't see how you're getting any actual truth out of this.
Oh, I mean, it's like a lie detector test. It's not going to be admissible in court.
Okay, so then it's how can you put any value in it?
I'm trying to think of an experiment we can do with Olivia Wilde to prove hypnosis.
There has to be a YouTube.
Can we get Olivia Wilde to do some hypnosis?
Can we hypnotize Olivia Wilde to come on the podcast?
Well, I would say Dave will hypnotize you, but I feel like you can very quickly get yourself to a spot where you're with Olivia Wilde.
Yeah, we proved that last episode.
I want to do an actual, because I will admit, I don't know jack shit about a lot of this stuff that we discuss on here. I'm learning it as we go.
Right.
I would love to do an episode on hypnosis. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I will do an episode, and we can come up with some experiments, and I will try it, and I will try to keep the most open mind I can. I just don't see how people can say, oh, they were hypnotized. This must be real. They did this.
So I think the problem with that is you don't believe it, so you're not going to be able to be hypnotized. And even if someone's hypnotized in front of you, I don't think you'll believe it.
But then should we put so much stock in something that so many people don't really believe in?
Well, I mean,
what's to
Barney
say-
didn't believe it, and Benjamin Simon.
But what's to say he wasn't
got
just
him
playing
under.
along to get this over with?
Well, let's get into these hypnosis sessions
Yeah,
here and
let's-
see what we think about
You
Barney.
guys started this debate. I'm just saying.
Well, we have legitimate opinions. You don't.
So Dr. Simon started hypnotizing them on January 4th, 1964, and he concluded everything on June 6th, 1964. He hypnotized Barney first. His recall of witnessing non-human figures was real emotional, and then we played that in the intro with the music.
Yeah, that was in the intro of the episode.
That's tough. I mean, that's creepy stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he was freaked out.
It's difficult to hear. I don't doubt that. He should have won an Academy Award.
So did he remember any of this before he was hypnotized? He didn't, right?
No.
None of it.
None
Or
of
did
it.
he just not ever talk about it?
He says that he didn't remember any of it.
So he could have just heard his wife, her description over and over again.
Right.
Or he could have been hypnotized to kind of tap into something that he didn't know was there and recalled it then.
Right. During his hypnosis, he said that he kept his eyes closed during the abduction due to fear. So he didn't even really see much of anything. And based on the way he was reacting to it, Dr. Simon put him into a type of hypnosis where he wouldn't remember what they talked about when he came out of the hypnosis. So he had when he came out, he had no idea what he had even talked about.
He doesn't remember what he said or anything.
Right, like he got hypnotized, talked about it.
Or
Like
he
like
claims he doesn't remember what he said.
right, I mean, you
has
hear
no
him freaking out.
recollection.
He wakes up and
Was it ever played back to him? Did he hear
eventually.
it? Okay.
Which has to be creepy as fuck.
If you didn't remember and then you hear yourself freaking
Right.
out, that would be terrifying.
Under the hypnosis, Barney reported that the binocular strap had been broken when he tried to run away from the UFO back and get back into the car. And he recalled driving away from the UFO, but that afterwards he felt compelled to pull off the road and drive into the woods. And he said that there were 6 men standing there in the dirt road, and the car had stalled, and 3 of the men approached the car. They told Barney not to fear them. And then again, it was like that telepathic
Right.
type
They
of
weren't speaking
communication.
that to him. They
Right.
he knew.
How great would it be to have that capability?
Just to like
Yeah, just like
tell me whatever you have to
so.
tell
Then you
me.
talk about how Mike thinks the Earth's flat, and we won't even. We'll just.
Well, I was going to say more like
Communicate.
you go to a meet and greet with Olivia Wilde and then she just like knows you want to be inside of her. I mean, that's how it works, right?
Yeah, I don't know who wouldn't want to be inside of Olivia.
I finally looked her up today because I had, as long as we've been doing this so far, this past couple weeks, I still have no idea who she was. So I looked her up today.
So for those who've listened to the first few episodes now, they're on episode 3. And now Ian's just figuring out who Olivia Wilde is. But hey, me gusta.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what she was in, what I know her. I mean, she's familiar, but.
I don't know anything she's in. What's she in?
I think she started in the OC like way back.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And
The reality No, I'm thinking Laguna Beach. The reality
The
show.
OC
on
was
TV.
like that.
The OC was on like Fox or something.
Yeah.
Kind of like teen soap opera
Okay.
kind of deal.
I think that's where she came. And then she was in House. And a bunch of cool movies.
All right.
She's terrific.
She's doing all right for herself.
She's got
She's doing all right for Dave.
And then she was in that. Side note: she was in that show Vinyl on HBO that lasted for a year. Did you ever see that?
No, I never heard
She
of
was
it.
completely naked, but she wore a merkin with the fake vaginal hair.
Really?
Yeah, it was interesting. Merkin.
Why?
Well, because there were big beavers in the 70s, and the show took place in the 70s.
So she's not a method actor.
No. I don't think she wanted to grow it out. Well, Jason Sudeikis probably didn't allow it, so she had to wear the merkin.
I need to look up who Jason.
I'm just
Sudeikis
saying you put.
I'm so bad. With
I'm just saying
celebrities.
you put Robert De Niro in that role, he's going to grow his bush out. He's going to.
I believe I heard her on Howard last year talking about the merkin.
Yeah. All right. And you don't know who Jason Sudeikis is?
No.
You seen the movie Horrible Bosses?
Yeah,
He's one of those guys.
he's one of the bosses.
He's the one whose boss died and the son took over. You know, he's one of the main characters. You've seen the movie.
Yeah, a long time. It was,
I don't think you have.
If we hypnotize you, I bet you remember it.
Yeah, no.
What else is he in? So Horrible. He doesn't remember Horrible.
Well,
Bosses.
SNL, like he
was on
Mitt
SNL.
Romney
Yeah.
and Joe Biden.
Something else. He's. Have you seen We're the Millers
No.
with Jennifer Aniston?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Smoking hot. That's a really funny movie.
I can talk all day about aliens and everything else, but
And then anything
celebrities
actual pop culture that people are you
that
can't
normal
do it.
people would be interested in.
You can't do it.
Okay, so just remember, vagina toupee, it's a merkin.
Working.
Interesting. And I'll Google Jason Sudeikis tonight. So
We'll tweet out a picture of Jason Sudeikis. No, we won't, because most of you fucks know who Jason Sudeikis is. We'll
on
just
the
educate
fourth
you.
episode, I'll be 100% on board with what's happening. Hypnotically, they told Barney not to fear them, and he was still
Telepathically.
Yeah, what
not
did I say?
hypnotically.
Yeah, telepathically.
He was being hypnotized.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, was he?
So the notes in front of me fucking say.
While hypnotized, Barney said that he felt like he said, "quote I felt like the eyes had been pushed into my eyes," which is fucking terrifying. Like me reading it doesn't really do it justice, but like hearing him like freak out and scream about it,
That's horror movie shit there.
it's crazy. Barney described the beings as generally similar to what Betty's hypnotic recollections were, not from her dreams. The beings often stared into his eyes with he said, a terrifying, mesmerizing effect.
So that's where hypnosis came from, actually, right? The magician Mesmer, father of hypnosis. Mesmerize.
Really?
I believe so.
It's interesting that you use those words, Ian, for this.
That's interesting. Did not know that. Yeah. In hypnosis, Barney, he really focused in on the way that their eyes looked. Something about their eyes really freaked him out. He went along with the same story that they had been taken onto a disc-shaped craft where they were separated, and he was taken into a room by 3 of the men and told to lie on a small rectangular exam table. And Barney's recollection was nowhere near as detailed as Betty's was.
Wait, his eyes closed the whole time, right?
Right, that's what he said, that he had his eyes closed.
I probably would, too.
He said that he had a cup-like device placed over his genitals, and he did not experience an orgasm, though he thought that a sperm sample had been taken. So,
Did he like feel it? Like, why does he think that?
I think that he was made to have an orgasm. He just didn't want to admit it.
So the aliens got him off.
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
I mean, unless you have some theories on how else it came out.
Well, I have some theories on all of this, but I don't know if we want to get into that just yet. We'll save that for the end.
It's the first intergalactic hand job.
Well, cup job too. Really.
job.
Cup job. Cup job.
He, just like Betty, he said that they scraped some skin and they looked into his ears and mouth. In his account, a thin tube was inserted into his anus and then quickly removed.
How quickly?
It seemed like he wanted the point to be stressed that it was quickly removed.
Do you think it was inserted at the same time the cup was over the genitals? And
Maybe
got
that's
the
how
sperm
they did
sample?
it.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, boom, boom, got it, go.
Kind of like a rusty trombone thing going on.
Maybe that's how it works.
Maybe that's how it was invented.
Nice.
Oh, you're saying aliens invented that trick?
You know what? If they're going to give us that, maybe I'll give them more belief. Did they invent the rusty trombone? Did Barney Hill get off because something was inserted into his anus? That's a fair scientific question.
Possibly.
Okay.
I mean,
We'll leave it up to the listener to decide.
it's a better theory than it just happened. Because I don't know how else you would get sperm out.
I mean, there's a lot in this story that I don't know how it happened, but okay, just ask him.
I feel bad for the guy.
I do too.
Barney's having a tough time here.
Based on the actual story of Barney, like he wanted nothing to do with this. He just wanted to live his life in peace, Something bad happened to him that night.
He put it by him. He put it behind him.
He put it behind him. That's what happens when you do drugs and fucking shit happens. And he was trying to move on with his life.
Wait, no. You said he did this last time we talked about it. He throws in this doing drugs thing. That they were doing some kind of hallucinogens, and this is why this happened.
There's no reference to that in this story.
No, that's my reference to that. That is why this is this story.
I like how you tried to sneak that in there real quick.
If I'm to hear this story and I don't believe, and again, maybe we should get to this at the end, but if I'm to hear this story and I am to believe something happened, I don't necessarily believe it's the aliens. So what made these people so fiercely believe it? Because like I said, I believe in the last episode, the Art Bell one, I don't necessarily think some of these people are lying. I think they truly do believe it happened to them, but I don't actually believe it happened. Were they doing some kind of drugs? They were on vacation. You said they were on vacation. Maybe they were trying to loosen up a little bit. I don't know. I'm just saying that's more plausible to me than an actual alien abduction, because I know hallucinogens and drugs actually exist. We do not necessarily know that alien abductions happen.
Do you think that any of the alien abductions that have been reported over the past 60 years have been true?
I do not know nearly enough about the genre. I know that what I've seen so far has not convinced me.
Okay.
But
fair enough.
I do not know for sure.
Fair enough. They weren't taking drugs, though.
Okay. So shut the fuck up about that right now.
You just made that up out of nothing.
Yeah, well, based on all this stuff they're saying.
There's more evidence for the anal probe than your drug story.
Well, maybe he was anally probed. Who knows? Betty might have, shoved something up there while they were drugged up on the side of the road. Maybe she shoved the wiener dog up his ass. I don't know. He's been missing since that part of the story. Where is he? Has anyone checked in on old Dulcie?
I think the aliens went out and took Dulcie for a walk while all this was taking place.
Okay.
What was Dulcie doing during this whole time?
She was up his ass. He was probed by
Was it a
Betty
she or a
because they
he?
were fucked up on mushrooms.
Oh, now they're doing shrooms.
Well, I just said drugs. I don't know for sure.
All right. Well, Betty reported that a conversation with the leader that she understood in English. Barney said he had heard them speaking in a mumbling language that he didn't understand, yet he also understood them in English. Betty also mentioned that detail, so it lines up with those. They're kind of reporting the same thing under hypnosis.
Mumblers. I'd just like to make a correction from the earlier segment where I referenced the rusty trombone. Rusty trombone is actually a rim job with a reach around, and that doesn't really apply to this situation. I was just trying to reference the Urban Dictionary in relation to this story.
We did like a whole bit on that. Do we have to take that all out?
It wasn't really a rusty trombone because I don't think the aliens gave Barney a rim job. So
They could have.
They could have. It's possible. Just wanted to clear that up.
Hypnotism did not bring that up. All right.
So what I got?
We apologize for the rim job misreference.
There's no historical proof that Barney got a rim job from the aliens.
That there's not. The few times that the aliens on the craft communicated with Barney, he said that it seemed to be a thought transference at that time, and he was unfamiliar with the word telepathy, so he didn't really understand what he was trying to describe.
Sure. He was explaining it. He just didn't know the word.
Right. Both Betty and Barney stated they hadn't observed the being's mouth moving when they communicated in English with them.
So the only time that they saw the aliens' mouths moving, it was the mumblings.
When they were like talking in their own language or whatever.
My wife and daughter speak that mumbling language.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking annoying.
And you're sitting there going, what?
What?
Speak up. What?
Barney recalled being escorted from the ship and taken back to the car. In a daze, he watched the ship leave. Barney remembered a light approaching the road, and he said audibly, "Oh no, not again." So, and I'm also thinking that's probably the orb thing again.
Guiding him home, maybe.
Yeah. He recalled Betty's speculation that the light might have been the moon, though the moon, it had set several hours earlier. He also stated that he attempted to produce the code-like buzzing sounds, which seemed to hit the back of the vehicle a second time by driving from side to side and stopping and starting the vehicle, and his attempts were unsuccessful.
His attempts to produce the sounds?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe Delsey was doing like Morse code or something from the back seat.
Save me. Stiff. I'm scared.
I'm stiff.
Help. He shriveled up probably. He was so scared. It's a wiener dog.
If you put the wiener dog between in a bun, would that be considered a sandwich?
A hot dog is a fucking sandwich. You haven't been a part of these debates, have you? Is a hot dog a sandwich? Why and why or why not? And I want to ask anyone that's listening out there, I know this is off topic, but it's a debate I have all the time. Is a hot dog a sandwich? I believe it is.
It's a piece of meat between a couple pieces of bread. The bun's
Or
bread.
in a bun. Because
But
it
the buns-
doesn't have to be cut through. Like you go to Subway
Right.
and they don't cut the bun through. It's like a V piece of bread with meat in between. And that's what a hot dog is.
So
What I'm saying is a hot dog is a type of sandwich.
Subway, it's not it's considered a sub.
Sub
But a
sandwich.
sub sandwich.
Submarine
Sure.
sandwich.
So I guess you could consider a hot dog the same thing.
So I'm glad. Necronomipod's
There.
official statement: a hot dog is a sandwich.
100%.
Do you agree or disagree? I would love to know, and also I'd love to know whether or not you believe in fake hypnosis. Tweet us at Necronomipod or hit us up on Instagram, Necronomipod.
Who disagrees with that?
People of lesser intellectual capacity.
Boom, roasted. Move on.
Just moving on. All right.
Asked and answered.
I'm gonna let that one sit. So under hypnosis, Betty's account was similar of the dreams that she had, but there was also differences, mainly pertaining to the capture and release. The technology on the craft was different. The short men she described in her dreams had significantly different physical appearances from the dreams versus hypnosis. The sequential order of the abduction event was also different from her dreams. And Betty and Barney's memories during the regression were consistent with one another, but contradicted some of the information in Betty's dreams. Betty also had a lot of emotional distress, like Barney had in her hypnosis regression.
But Betty kind of had this building inside of her anyways.
Right.
She'd been stressing about this since that day.
Yeah.
She'd been agonizing over it, obsessed with it.
Right.
He was just trying to kind of move on.
And she would like start crying. I mean, both of them were really
Emotion.
emotional.
His story to me though was much more interesting with the hypnosis and stuff, because he didn't want any part of that.
Right.
And then he starts telling these things and like the clip we had played, like he becomes extremely emotional. Like that's fucked up. That's creepy.
Yeah.
He'd be less likely to be faking it.
He'd be
making it
less
up.
likely to be putting on a show.
Right.
Whereas if you just heard her story based on what we've learned about her, maybe she's putting on a show. Yeah.
Dr. Simon also gave Betty post-hypnotic suggestion that she could sketch a copy of the star map where the aliens said that they were from. During hypnosis, like I said earlier, she described it as like this like kind of 3D kind of screen that they pull down.
So like not a star map where Sylvester Stallone lives in Hollywood.
She did draw the star map. She said that there were many more stars. Like the map that they showed her had a lot more detail to it versus what she actually drew.
She just couldn't remember that. She just drew the one.
She drew what they showed her, which they said it was like how they traveled here, and they showed her like trade routes and stuff that they would travel on.
Right.
There's a lot of stars in the drawing.
Yeah.
Maybe we can post a copy of the map that she drew.
For sure.
We'll post what she actually drew.
Yeah. After the hypnosis sessions, Dr. Simon speculated that Barney's recollection of the whole ordeal was possibly just a fantasy inspired by Betty's dreams. He thought that it was most reasonable that was the most reasonable and consistent explanation for the whole ordeal.
Sounds accurate.
Barney rejected the idea, and he said that while their memories were consistent in some regards, there were also portions of their narratives that were unique to each other. By the time that that everything was over and done with and he heard the tapes, he heard himself on hypnosis, he accepted the fact that they had been abducted by UFOs.
So Betty beat him down enough that he was just like, all right, fine.
But I mean, so put yourself in a situation. Let's just say for a second that hypnosis is real, or it is real, but you find out that hypnosis is real, and even if it's been suggested to you or not, but you hear yourself talking like that on a tape.
So
freaking
what you're
out
saying is that Barney had essentially no recollection of this.
Right.
But then he heard himself on a tape and all of a sudden believed it.
Right.
So he didn't believe it when he saw a big craft in front of him.
No, I'm talking about like the whole abduction scenario.
Well, he didn't remember it when he
But
saw
then
the
how do
craft.
we know Barney's point of view from the beginning and what he thought?
We're basing it on already knowing this recollection story.
I mean, his initial thing was that they saw the craft.
Okay.
He thought it was the military fucking around.
Yeah,
But
the
he didn't
specific-
recall all of that till the hypnosis.
No, he remembered that part.
Yeah, he remembered that part. He didn't recall any of the stuff about
So,
being
but
taken
seeing
onto
that
a
craft,
ship. And
seeing that craft didn't make him believe. It was
the
hearing his own recount
under hypnosis.
under hypnosis that made him believe.
Right.
Because
I'm trying to put myself in that situation. If I heard myself freaking out and saying these things,
Would you freak out?
I would freak out, freak out. Oh yeah, macho man, strange things happening in the sky. Where are you taking me? What are you gonna do? That's my cum. You ain't gonna have it today, dig it? I don't think I would believe. I think it would freak me out hearing myself recall something like that. I don't think I would all of a sudden be like, oh, I was abducted. Hearing myself under hypnosis, quote unquote, freaking out like that would scare the shit out of me if I heard myself on tape. But just hearing myself say that, I don't think would convince me of something that I don't have any recollection of. So I don't know if hearing myself under hypnosis freaking out about an event would make me believe that that event was real.
So I have a question about that. When he came out of hypnosis, he doesn't actually remember the event itself. And so even hearing the tape of the hypnotic session doesn't infer that memory into you. Like you don't really remember it. All you remember is hearing yourself under hypnosis.
That's how I understood it.
That's a different thing.
And so because we're doing an outline, trying to keep this down to an hour, glossed over some of the book, because the main book, the research from this was from The Interrupted Journey by John Fuller and Dr. Simon. So basically how it worked was that Dr. Simon did the hypnotic regression with them. And then when he felt that it was appropriate, he eased Barney into remembering what they had talked about and then he got him to a point of fully remembering everything.
Okay.
Like he didn't just like drop it on him all at once. He like eased this in and then let them hear back everything that they had said.
And this was over a period of 5 months, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he went about. It was treated as like therapy from a doctor. Sure. Yeah.
It sounds like he just, trying to put it out of his mind. He had that trauma right under the surface, and this probably let him move past.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's great.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how it winds down for them. Is he accepted it, and it really did seem to ease up stuff for him. So they had went back to their regular lives after that. Like I said, he accepted it, and they were just
normal people.
It is what it is. Yeah. On October 25th, 1965, a front page story in the Boston Traveler detailed their experience, and some fucking asshole, when they disclosed it to their church, tape recorded the whole thing and then turned it over to reporters.
That's nice.
Nice
because they had
people there.
Yeah, so that's the other thing with them that gives them more credibility to me, is they had no interest in doing anything further with this story other than if we ended this here, we would have never fucking known about it unless Dr. Simon decided to do something with it.
Right, they didn't try to sell their story, capitalize on it.
Some asshole taped them without them knowing, and then put it out there. So that's when they got they talked to Dr. Simon and got in contact with John Fuller, and they agreed to do the book.
Well, at that point, you want to get your story straight.
Right. And it's a really good book. I mean, it has full transcripts of the hypnosis sessions to read through. It's a really, really good book.
And you can find the audio recordings of that on YouTube, and they're pretty creepy.
Yeah.
We can tweet out a link to that as well.
And then years later, the star system or the star map would be questioned, and I believe it was in 1978 that it was looked at again, and it was the overwhelming opinion was that it lined up with a double star system called Zeta Reticuli, which at the time of Betty drawing the star map, we didn't.
Yeah, it was undiscovered.
We didn't know that existed.
So how did that happen, Mike?
That still stands to this day. Like, what she drew was statistically accurate.
Yeah.
There's no holes in that.
Well, I saw a lot of people question the accuracy.
There's some questioners out there, but
I think Carl Sagan questioned it, actually.
Carl Sagan is a piece of shit.
Whoa! We're not putting that in the podcast.
We found his hypnosis.
Today.
We found his hypnosis.
He is a debunker.
Or his spam.
Piece
his
of
spam
shit.
call.
He's a scientist, so.
He's not my kind of scientist.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Philip Class, too.
Philip
Class. He's another debunker.
Anyone who's actually legitimately educated.
Makes a career on shitting on people.
Shitting on people or just kind of calling people out?
Shitting on people.
Give me an example. A very quick example. I don't want to drag this out.
Philip Class? We'll get into him on the Fire in the Sky story.
No, the other guy. Who'd you say?
Carl Sagan.
Carl Sagan.
He's just always... My life is funner than Carl Sagan, so fuck that guy.
Well, all right. I respect that answer. Okay.
He's just always coming in there with
facts.
No, not facts.
Well,
shitting on everything.
Well, he's been dead for a long time, so let's...
So is Philip Class.
Well, I don't want to shit on the dead people. I mean, you're doing enough shitting on those dead people.
Carl Sagan, one of the greatest scientists in the history of this country.
I don't really know Carl Sagan. Maybe we do an episode on him. I would love to do an episode on him and get you fired up for 2
The
hours.
show Cosmos, the old episodes of Cosmos.
Was that before my time?
Well, yeah.
He's not as bad as Philip Class. Philip Class is a real piece of shit.
I don't know who Philip Class
He's
is.
a real piece of shit. Carl Sagan, whatever. That's fine.
Well, I mean, I suspect Carl Sagan was looking for evidence on some of this stuff.
Philip Class is an asshole. I mean, we'll definitely get into him.
All right. I'm excited for those.
Yeah, well...
This is Dave, and I love Carl Sagan.
So the map that she drew might or might not have held up.
There's debates on both sides.
Okay.
But this is what it's going to be like with me every time with aliens.
Hey, all we can do is tell the story with a little bit of our opinion sprinkled in, and the listeners can make up their own mind. There is evidence probably both ways that you can believe what you want from these episodes. I am not a believer in this type of stuff, so I find the evidence that says otherwise.
You do not believe this story?
Well, I think it's pretty well known that Betty was probably a crackhead.
Well, that...
I know that's bullshit. I'm making that up.
So, but the one... Aside from Carl, I'll give Carl Sagan. He's looking for facts. That's fine.
How dare him?
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to debunk it, but a lot of the debunking before Carl Sagan started was people trying to say that it was like a hallucination based off of stress of them being in an interracial marriage.
Really, did people float that out there?
Yeah, that was like the biggest debunking of their story at the time.
It's racist in itself.
It doesn't even make any sense.
No.
And they both said that they had a lot of good friends. They were accepted by their community. Like there was no issue.
Well, they were way up north. They were, I mean,
right.
Not to say that it was easy for them, but racial tensions more up north were not as nearly as bad as they were in the south.
Right, and they had friends and family. They had friends, family, and
it seemed like they were a good part of their church.
Yeah, so.
They were well respected.
They had Delsey.
They had Delsey.
Yep.
If you have a wiener dog, you're doing okay in life.
So yeah, Barney died shortly after this whole thing went down, February 25th, 1969, from a brain hemorrhage. And
you're talking too much.
Going on and on about the aliens. And Betty died October 17th, 2004, from cancer. She never remarried, and she was a huge part of the UFO community till she died.
After that.
Yeah. And I know you researched some stuff that she kind of...
She seemed to get a little kooky in those later years and some oddball stuff. And theories that she came up with. So I think, there's some in the UFO community that didn't take her at her word in those later years sometimes.
And to me, that's interesting because, like Ian had said earlier, she seemed to be a pretty quiet, shy, unimpressed girl before all of this. And the fact that freaked her out. Again, I think these people truly believe what they're saying. I don't necessarily think they're looking for attention or they're trying to get famous. I think in their minds, this did happen to them.
Sure.
I don't think it actually did. And I will probably say that on a lot of the episodes and things we discuss. I don't think these people are all pieces of shit lying to get famous. I just don't know.
They definitely weren't, because if it wasn't for whoever recorded them and put it out to the newspaper, we wouldn't even know this story.
Yeah.
Sure. And then, so again, I'm not trying to shit on Betty and Barney Hill. I think they truly believe this happened.
Right.
I'm just, I guess, not a believer based on this story. Maybe we'll find one that gets me to believe.
I believe this story.
I believe it 100%.
You both believe that this happened?
Yes.
Okay. I do not.
I think they're the first. I think there are people that...
Why is there not more evidence now of this happening?
Of what?
Alien abductions. Why is this not more...
I mean,
we're in a day and age where we know what's going on. Is this all because of Eisenhower's treaty or whatever?
But what do you mean?
Like Dave said earlier, this isn't happening in Manhattan. This isn't happening to anyone who has their smartphone out at the time, and everyone has their smartphone out.
I think it's
evidence.
It's the dimensional. It's the reality thing.
Is that reality then? It might be
your reality. That's why I was saying
isn't that just dreaming?
It's all part of it, man. You got to read the book. It's a good book.
Again, I think that still speaks to mine. They believe it.
So it might have really happened to them because they believe it so thoroughly. That's their reality. So then does it become a part of the collective consciousness that...
We're getting into some metaphysical stuff now.
It does really become reality?
We're like 19 beers deep.
Yeah.
Here at the end of this thing. You guys are throwing out words that are over my head.
I think Angie will run up and get some Wendy's triples.
Oh. Well, we all voted on Taco Bell, first of all, Dave. Got some chicken quesadillas, some cheesy gordita crunches. Supreme, I know you like your sour cream.
All right, well...
So that... I understand what you're saying,
yeah.
And I do think we should explore that one at some point, maybe down the road.
It will get brought up every time we talk.
That's a pretty heavy fucking episode.
It will get brought up every time we talk about aliens.
Well, right, because it's a chicken shit answer for you to get out of the my actual facts that this doesn't happen.
This fucking guy.
That's how it works.
All right.
Well, it's like, well, it's their reality, dude. Well, no, man. There's a reality that we all are in the same room right now. We can look at the walls and know that they're there.
I don't see any walls.
People are gonna hate on me. That's fine. I'd love it.
This is one of my favorite stories, of course, because it's the first. And
yeah, exactly.
I love Betty and Barney Hill.
This is a fun story. I think Betty got obsessed with this and really into it. I feel bad for Barney. I think this kind of consumed him and maybe overwhelmed him, whatever he was feeling, and maybe ultimately led to his death. And that's, I feel bad for both of them, really. For someone who's not into science fiction, alien, anything like that, this is a fascinating story.
And there's only up to go from here with aliens.
I'm sure we'll have plenty.
If you're a fan of the show, let us know if you believe this story or not.
Yeah, please tweet us in about that and whether or not hot dogs are a sandwich. Ian, you got any closing remarks on Betty and Barney Hill? Anything else you want to get in?
No, like I said, it's my favorite. One of my many favorites, and I would really recommend reading The Interrupted Journey by Dr. Simon and John Fuller. It's a great book.
The one that goes into detail on this story.
Yeah, it does all the transcripts from the hypnosis sessions. It's cool.
Dave, anything else on Betty and Barney Hill?
Stay safe out there. Keep your sperm to yourself.
As long as you can control it.
Don't let it be forcibly removed.
Right. So we got 3 episodes in the books. We did a serial killer. We did a radio legend. We've done some alien abductions. Let us know on Twitter, Instagram, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you want to see more of. We have a whole slew of different things that we want to touch on, but we want to hear what you would like to hear because we can easily change our plans. So let us know what you're into, what you liked, what you disliked, what you want us to do, and we will try our best to abide. You can give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram. We are at Necronomipod. Feel free to hit us up. Also, be sure to subscribe on iTunes, on Stitcher, and on Spotify. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any updates. We will be out typically every Sunday or Monday morning, so we'll have an episode a week for you after this initial week where we got 3 episodes dropping at once just to hit you with a big bang to get us started. Again, let us know on Twitter what you like, what you dislike, and we'll take it from there.
All right, guys, let's do a cool down beer for Delzy.
Cheers, Delzy. There, this one's for you.